So we'll go to a small intro and then
Okay.
we're live now, so everybody can hear me. Hello, everybody. We are perfectly streaming right now.
Last week I was censored. Here's what I have to say to that.
Sing you. Play the intro. Oh, the intro's playing.
Why do I have to always... Art is subjective. It doesn't make sense.
It's not playing the intro, but it's okay because we're right here. Don't worry, everybody. The intro will be playing very soon. But I'll give you a little pretense on what the intro is about. It's kind of me getting angry at being censored, but being censored. You'll see it in a sec. If he presses the space bar on live stream, then it should work.
Last week I was censored. Here's what I have to say to that. You mother... Why do I have to always... Art is subjective. It doesn't make sense. I don't give a shit. Go to the episode.
Very cute. She's Lucy. And this is Shit I Need to Know, episode 6. Today we are talking more business with Claire Smith. Hello Claire, how are you going?
Hey Matt, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Thank you so much for joining me. And I first of all, let's just, not business at the start. I just want to know, how are you so TikTok famous?
Oh, yeah, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that I just seem to have connected with young people. I think that young people aren't threatened by grannies. And so when I do my Grandma Popsie voice, that's quite soothing, that is. And I think that's what the young people really like. So I don't know, basically, but it's a lot of fun.
It is, because I remember watching it. We were interviewing someone on Shit I Need to Know. Oh, no, not Shit I Need to Know. Random Shit in My House. So many shits.
Yeah.
And, she showed us your TikTok, and we're like, wow. That's pretty funny, actually. Because it is true, young people do, we like grannies because they're funny.
Yeah.
And, because they can say stuff.
Exactly, and you get this generational gap that happens, and you can tell grannies things that you can't talk about with normal adults. So, and I can get away with saying silly rhymes, and they're, a little bit rude. And it's not really rude, but it's like, because it's granny saying it, it's like uber funny. And so it's kind of really nice. And I've got a really big following in Australia and a really huge following in the UK. So I'm right up there. I think I've got about 14,400 followers, which is nice. So good little posse.
It's a good little amount, good little community. And for all the eager viewers who actually are here for business and no fun, let's start it off. Claire, I registered my business when I turned 15. And, I've been getting bits and pieces of work. I'm almost finished year 12 in a couple of months. What should I do to plan for building my business?
Okay. Well, that's really impressive that that you registered your business when you were 15. You got a business bank account?
Yes, I do. All that,
okay.
All the pizzazz.
Yep. Okay, and you're set up as a sole trader?
Sure am. We did that all the way back in, a long time ago, 2017.
Okay, well, that's excellent. That's really good. So most people your age haven't, that are thinking about a business haven't gone through those basic steps to start with. And it's really important to get those right. So it's good to hear that you've already achieved that. So what type of work are you getting, Matt, when it's coming? You say you're getting bits of work. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Mainly, it's like, I'll get approached, or I'll approach people via word of mouth and stuff like that. But it's mainly like video clientele jobs. So someone will want a video done for them, and then I'll go out with camera equipment, or they'll come in here and we'll shoot them. Not shoot them, but video shoot them in case that gets taken out of context. But yeah, so we will do video making and work like that for them. It's a lot of fun, and we've gotten a bit of work here and there.
And who's your target market? Who is your main client? And is that who you want to stick with, or do you want to expand from there?
At the moment, my target market is really like the older areas because that's who I'm getting work from. But my main target market, the place that I really want to be in, is people in my age group, because I want to make content, funny content for people like me to enjoy and get monetary value out of it.
Okay. So whilst I think that's fabulous, and obviously you're passionate about that, you know your own peer group really well. If you're making videos for your peer group, there's probably not a great deal of money in that. There's a lot of fun and there's a lot of growth that you can get out of that, but not a lot of money. So in order to make money, you need to obviously get clients who might want to feed information, marketing, content to your age group. Would that be what you were angling at?
Yeah, it is definitely sort of that thing. It's like, you know, you're doing that solely for them, or you could be doing shows like this, but then we have like a sponsor on here who wants to talk to young people directly through us, through our show.
Yeah. Okay. So look, I think that moving forwards, it's great to make videos with people your own age group. You'll probably find if you start reaching out a little bit that there are young entrepreneurs, you know, let's say from 16 to 25 year bracket, that don't have a great deal of money, but really would love that video content. Social media is, if you're not on social media, I don't know where you've been really, Peeps, because, but particularly for your age group, Matt, and your peer group, social media is the way forward. There are people that are on Instagram, you know, people your age, a bit older, that don't have websites. They market directly on Instagram. Facebook, not so much. That's not really your peer group, but certainly Instagram has gone off with a bang. Working in video content, that gives you such a broad palette to work with to get some great clips up on Insta and start branding yourself. That's one really important thing to do, is to get that brand out there, get it noticed. And align it with your principles. So, you know, everybody knows that you want to make sure that everybody knows that you do a great job. You're a really nice guy to work with. You're easy to work with. You make the job simple and straightforward. So with your messaging, which is another thing we need to talk about moving forwards, is getting your messaging correct for your market. So have you written yourself a value proposition?
No, actually I haven't.
Okay, so that's something I would suggest that you could sit down and do. So you need to really think about your marketplace. Who's in that market? Who are the people that you want to attract to your business? And what is the problem you're solving for them? Now, you're going to have multiple types of customer. You're going to have people your own age who haven't got a great deal of money, but you're happy to maybe do some work for them for either free, and you, in return, you know, you're going to ask them, hey guys, that was a great shoot. Can I use some of that content on my Insta account? Okay. Or, hey guys, I really loved doing that shoot with you. It looks great. Would you do a video testimonial for me? And just make sure that you capture, you know, 20 or 30 seconds that you can then really leverage off on your Insta account, or LinkedIn would be another avenue. We should look at that. Or in fact, your own website. So, and then when you move into getting paid, that's the penultimate, you know, getting some money. What we really want to do is get fully paid for what we're doing. But even if you can get some money, you may have to do some like deals and, you know, well, I'll do this for this much money, because really you're an unknown entity at the moment, and to build your brand, you might have to do some work that you get a bit of money. Oh, well, I'll do this for $100. It would normally cost you 500, but I'll do it for 100. Do a great job. Do it as if you're being paid $500, $1,000. And again, ask if you were doing some work for me and you did it for a little bit of mates rates, perhaps. And you said, hey, Claire, did you enjoy the experience? Would you be happy to give me a testimonial? I'd say, gee whiz, yeah, absolutely. You've done me a great deal here, Matt. So think about your target audience and what it is, what's their pain point? Is it they don't have time to produce these videos themselves? Is it that they don't have the skills? Is it they don't have the creativity? And then build your value proposition around that, if that makes some sense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense. It's really like, get your name out there and don't be afraid to do things either for free or for little amounts of money just to get yourself out there. I think that's extremely important. Some people overcharge themselves. I've personally overcharged myself many times and lost out on a few things. And I think that's the sort of thing where you just need to like step back and grab hold of your ego for a second and be like, hey, this could be pretty smart to do it properly. So then later on you can be charging up there when you're well known.
That's exactly right. What you also probably ought to do is a competitor analysis. See who else is in the marketplace, see how much they charge, what they offer, what their services are, look at their work so that you know who's out there. There's nothing worse than starting a business and you might be really, really good at it, but you have no idea what else is out there in the marketplace. And if you don't know what's there, you can't find your point of difference that could be the clincher between you getting some great jobs or not. There's always things we can do to add value that somebody else doesn't offer.
Yeah, that's true. I'd never really thought about it that way. It's like you need to really think about who your competitors are, because if you're just in a sea of other fish, you don't stand out. You need to stand out yourself and do something that no one else is offering. It's very true.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So, yours might be, you might have a big focus on great customer service, for instance, going that extra mile, making sure that your clients are so super happy with what you do. You may even do a follow-up for 20% off, whatever it might be. Until you've looked at the market and seen what everybody else is offering, then you can start getting really creative and seeing what you can do that's that little bit different. Maybe it's just that you're a funky guy and you use lots of different angles that people wouldn't normally do, or you can maybe offer different genres and styles for people that normally for the money that they would pay would maybe just get a single camera shoot rather than a multi-camera shoot. There's all sorts of things that you can do to build up your portfolio and show people how talented you are. Because breaking into the market, it doesn't matter how good you are. If nobody really knows who you are to start with, they've got nothing to compare your work to. So building up that portfolio is really important. One of my tips to you would be, while you're doing this, everything that I would suggest that you do now is not going to cost you any money. It is just going to cost you your time. So get your social set up. If you haven't got Instagram, set an Instagram account up. If you're not on LinkedIn, set up LinkedIn, and that's your professional persona. So, that's where you're going to start building professional credibility. Your Instagram is where you're going to be showcasing your work, building up a following. I would also suggest that once you start making a little bit of money, that you do invest in a website. So you may be able to do a lot of that work yourself, or know somebody who can do that for you, or you can do a swap.
Yeah.
You know, you'll do some video work for them. They'll help you put a website together. Blogs or vlogs are great ways to talk about what you do, and you're very good with in front of a camera, and you're very at ease. So, you know, maybe even helping other people learn how to use their smartphones to make some of their own videos. So there's lots of things that you can do, but certainly getting your messaging right is really important, and that is going to form the fundamental part of your branding and your marketing.
Yeah, because my social media is so flawed. I barely post anything on there, and I never know what to post. It's also a thing of like, you know, I really need to like fine tune all of my like artwork. So like my logos and things I'm posting and layout and stuff like that. Really, it is just spending that time, not sitting there watching YouTube and actually getting into it. And would you say it's valuable to do a few online classes about social media, or like learn a little bit about it?
Yes, and there are some really, really good free courses, especially since we got hit with COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of courses that were paid courses are now free. So, yeah, if you take a social media class, there's very often ones being run here on the Sunshine Coast. So learn really what works. What I would say, though, is if you know anybody that is successful on Instagram locally, there are actually quite a number of influencers that live here on the coast, young influencers. Reach out and see if you can just have, go and have a coffee with some people that are very successful on particularly Instagram, because that will give you that's far better than going to do a class on it.
Yeah.
Going to do a class as well is great, doing a workshop, but actually talking to people about how often they post, the content, what hashtags, how you use hashtags, how you actually lay out your post to maximize feedback and exposure. LinkedIn is a completely different kettle of fish, because that is your professional persona. And there are courses, again, workshops, 1-2 hour half-day workshops. And I would certainly suggest scour the internet, find one or two or three, do as many as you can that don't cost you anything. All of this you can do for nothing. Don't spend any money. I'm a great believer in Matt, in don't spend it unless it's absolutely necessary. Yeah. You know, fail fast so that you can go, well, shit, that didn't work. So I'm going to try something else. I'll tell you, my current business, my current company that I own, and I've been running it for just over 4.5 years. I started it with $100. So that was a bit of a test in itself. So I spent $32 registering my business name, another 30 odd bucks getting hosting, because we made our own website, and 30 bucks on some cheap business cards from Vistaprint. And within 2 months, we'd started generating income. So we became a company. Wow. Then we got a better website, and I've never borrowed a penny. So it's all about using your skill set to best, leverage off what you can do and those around you. I bet you've got lots of friends who could be very useful to you in many ways, and that you could give something back to them.
Yeah.
I totally believe it takes a community to build a business.
It does. It really does. I think, that's an important point, because people will say, oh, I could spend oodles of money on it. heaps of money. But realistically, what's that going to do to you? Are you getting a return investment, or are you actually putting yourself out there? When realistically, if you're not, then it's not going anywhere and you've just wasted all this money.
Exactly. But the other thing is, people fall into a trap of procrastination. And they will try and become perfect at what they do. And they will try and learn as much as they can and research as much as they can. And they're actually not getting their shit out there.
Yeah.
So the sooner you can get what you do out in the marketplace, regardless of whether you are selling it or you're just posting examples of your work or you're posting vlogs, it's about creating a buzz, some energy, and a presence. And that's way more important. You can get good at everything you do as you progress, and you can build your business in stages. But if you sit behind closed doors trying to make something perfect, other people are going to be passing you by, going, "Hey, Matt, hey."
Pretty much.
I don't think you're like that for 1 minute. Doing this for a start, but getting out there and doing it and letting people see what you're capable of. Everything can be polished as you go. None of us get it right to start with, and we continue to make mistakes, and we learn from that. That's how we learn. So I'm a great believer in making mistakes, but not keep repeating the same mistakes.
Yeah, pretty much all of your points are so relatable, because I feel like before I started this show, it really was sitting back, procrastinating, polishing one skill and thinking, oh, that'll be fine. Let's just do that at some point. But I never really gotten around to it. Yeah. I guess that this is sort of building onto that, but I really need to improve a lot more, and that's what you just helped me learn. It's like, that's such a fantastic wealth of knowledge that we've just all taken on, and I think that that's so important for us to learn and know.
We learn as we go, and the more we do something and the more we practice it, the better we get at it. It's like anything, if you can only do 2 push-ups today, tomorrow you'll do 3. And it's the same with our businesses. Our businesses are like doing push-ups. It's always hard at first, and our muscles feel sore and weak, and that's the pressure that is just from running a business. But the more we do it, the better we get, the more we'll improve. We will find out what we're really good at and what we're not so good at. And the things we're not so good at, we can either learn to do to start with because we haven't got money to pay somebody, or we can do skill swaps with other people. We can barter. There are no rules around any of this, Matt. We can make it up as we go along. As long as we stick to some basic fundamentals, it doesn't matter how we get things done, as long as we get them done. I very often swap services for services, because it's a nice way to do business to start with, and I end up getting some things that probably I wouldn't buy for myself, but if I swap for it, that's fantastic. So I encourage people to do that, but also you need to get paid, because it's the business at the end of the day, and you want to make money from it, and you want to be able to build on your equipment, what you can offer. Eventually you might employ people. Eventually you might have a studio that's not at home. So, but who cares? Right now, you just need to get started, get out there, start doing something, and you are. So moving forward, you just need to keep doing, and not be afraid to say, hey, I'm Matt, here I am.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for giving me all that information. I feel like that was more like just you and I talking. I didn't even feel like I had an audience here. It was like, that's such great advice for my business. I'm just going to ask one more question, one last
Sure.
thing, because I know we're running out of time.
Okay.
It's a very generalized question. So, me, like many other people, many other young people, or anyone really, we don't have a big bank account, as we were talking about before. But realistically, I guess we've already answered it, but I want to get it down. How do young people with a business idea start out? Like they've gotten that into their head, they've been thinking about it for ages, and they want to do it.
Yep.
How do they start out? Give me three things.
Okay, so first of all, you need to validate your idea. Do that without it costing you any money. So test the market. You can get a free subscription on something like SurveyMonkey, and send out some surveys to all your friends, all your family. Test and see if the idea is good to start with, or you can stand in your local town or local village with a clipboard and say, look, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? Would this fulfill something in your life? So find out first if your idea is a good idea. And that doesn't mean you had to have made a prototype to start with. If the feedback that comes back is, yes, it's a good idea, then that's good. At least you validated it. So there are a lot of kids still at school that have great ideas and nowhere to go. And this is a problem because there is no resource between school, TAFE and uni that helps young people sort of gravitate into the business world without, like mentors, that's a whole minefield. I know I'm technically one, but I hate the word, I hate the terminology. I'm just somebody that comes along for the ride with businesses and we work it out together. Now, there's a lot of mentors around, there's a lot of business coaches. They charge an arm and a leg. One of the good things to do is to join business groups. So it can be something like an online meetup, which some of those are face-to-face meetings, some of them are online. Find something that aligns with your interest. They're free. And then you can start building your network. Now, your network is so important because you may find that somebody in that network that you start building is prepared to give you a helping hand. And they might even help you out a little bit financially to get a prototype together if they think what you're doing is fabulous. Okay, so you need to find a champion, somebody that can champion your cause. Now, so I would suggest find a meetup group. There are lots of people in the community that are ready to give back to young people. Unfortunately, there just isn't a forum at the moment, or a space, or something that's happening that can help people with that. If you are determined and you've validated your product or your service, you've joined some meetup groups, you're starting to build your network, you're getting online and you're learning about things like your value proposition, business model canvas, so that you can understand the ramifications of owning a business, get yourself educated. You can do it for nothing online, okay? And then, you might just have to go, and if you haven't already got a part-time job, you have to get a part-time job. And then back yourself. And if people can see that you're backing yourself and you're putting your 20 or 30 bucks a week into it, other people will see the value in what you're doing. And that'll probably start with your family. And then you might find that your family may be able to bootstrap your business to start with. And you know what? If you've got a great skill set and you've got somebody to help you and support you and eke out that skill set, what you're good at, there's a lot of good businesses that have started on a couple of $100 and determination. but you need to validate, and get yourself a little bit educated about what it means to run a business. And the other thing is, I would say to all budding young entrepreneurs, I've got a Facebook page running which is called THERE, THERE dash Sunshine Coast, and it's Thinkers, Doers and Makers. Hop on there, join up. We're all entrepreneurs, we're all startups, we're all innovators. Once a month I do a free Zoom seminar with somebody from industry that has either really made it, or they're an advisor, or they're somebody like the Queensland Chief Entrepreneur, Leanne Kemp. This month I've got a guy called Ben Bradshaw, who is from Brisbane. His company, he is so big in the digital marketing space. He got Young Entrepreneur 2019, and he's going to be on with me this month. So look out for the free resources, because they are out there, and I'm hoping down the track to be able to solidify that a bit more in the community so that we can go, hey guys, this is just for you.
Fantastic. So when is that on? Let's plug it. When is that on?
I don't have a date at the moment, I'm afraid, Matt, because he only confirmed with me last night that he can do it now, just sorting out a date. But it'll be towards the end of the month, and that goes up on our Facebook page. And if you're on my mailing list, it goes out to my mailing list too. So get on the Facebook page, join us, and then you automatically get on that list for free workshops.
Fantastic. Well, that is great information, and I highly encourage everyone here to go and look on that Facebook page. And what other socials can we find you on, Claire?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me, well, it depends. I'm on Instagram and TikTok, of course, as Grandma Popsie. But in my business capacity, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. I've got several pages on Facebook. So, and I've got my website, forbesmarketer.com.au. But I love working with young people, and I want to do more of that. I work with kids from Glasshouse Christian College and the DeLorean Project. And I want to do more of that, because you guys are what is going to be driving our economy over the next 20, 30 years. So I think we all need to get invested in our young people right now. And, for the Sunshine Coast, we really do need to be helping drive our economy. And I think you guys are the ones that are going to do it.
Yeah, fantastic. We have just lost your video signal here, but that's all right. I really...
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, there we go. Hey, we're back here.
Hey, I'm back in the room.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I know we went over a little bit over time, but oh well, it doesn't matter. It's live. Who cares? And I think it was so important too as well.
Cool. I just feel like we've just been having a chat.
Yeah.
Over, I've totally forgotten that we're live.
Same. So that's what's fantastic about it. That was my original intentions of this whole show, just to have a whole chat with someone. And really, you get more out of a chat than an interview, I think, sometimes.
I think so. And if your mum wants to set something up, I'm quite happy to do I'd love to do actually a young business person's workshop. Maybe we could do it at the old ambulance station, and we can go through business model canvas and value proposition, and as a free workshop for young people. Maybe we could sort that out at some time.
Awesome. Well, what does Mum think? Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay. Well, let's get that organised.
Putting you on the spot there, Robin. Oh well. No, I think that's fantastic. And well, thank you so much for joining me, Claire. You've been a very huge wealth of knowledge, and I hope people will take something out of that. I know I certainly have.
Thanks, Matt, and happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I'm 18, finally can legally drink.
Well, have a great day, mate, and thank you very much for inviting me on. I've really enjoyed our time together.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you for joining me over this episode, number 6. Only 4 left. It's fantastic. I'm hoping you're I'm hoping that you're getting something out of this just like I am. I know that it's going to very much improve my business. And be on the lookout for all this stuff. We will keep you informed of when that their Zoom meeting will happen. And I'll see you next week. No idea what we're going to talk about, but that's the fun of it. See ya.